Hi, my name is Robin Wong, and in this video I want to talk about a mini photography project that I did recently with the Olympus M.Zuiko 100-400 lens. Let's do this! Here are some important disclaimers. I don't own the Olympus 100-400 lens. It was on loan from Olympus Malaysia, and I have returned the lens to them after this mini photography project. I've also done a video review of that lens. I'll put the link up here. Please check out the video if you have not already done so. Here is a little history and background on where the photography project came about. Olympus came to me and commissioned me to shoot for their pro gallery. They wanted sample photographs taken with the new Olympus M.Zuiko 100-400 lens, which is not wildlife, animal or sports specific. I was just the right person to do it, but as much as I appreciate this amazing opportunity, it came to me at the wrong time. It was during the lockdown period in Malaysia due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Any non-essential work was not allowed. No events was going on. I couldn't go out and shoot freely. All my photography opportunities of what I can do with the 100-400 lens was extremely limited. Therefore, I came with this idea of doing a mini project about what's happening around me, documenting the scenes in the city with this 100-400 lens. It suddenly poured cats and dogs, and you know what? This has happened more than 10 times over the past 1 year. It is crazy. The sky can be bright and sunny in one moment, and the next it just suddenly poured with no warning. I'm so used to this. Usually I will film everything from the start all over again, but you know what? I'm so sick of tired of doing it again and again, and this time I'll just continue where I left off. The idea of the mini photography project was centered on documenting what's happening around in Kuala Lumpur, the city area during this pandemic COVID-19 times. So basically it's a mix of documentary, street photography, and a little bit of urban landscape. So the 100-400 lens was quite an interesting choice because it is not the typical documentary style lens, or it is not a popular choice for street photography. It is a super telephoto lens. Most people will complain that the lens is too long, and a lot of people would prefer to work with something much wider, like a 35 or 50mm equivalent, so they can get closer to the subject and appear more intimate. I choose to work with the opposite. I find that the 100-400 is just the right lens at this time because I want the lens to exaggerate the distance. I want the lens to show that everything is far apart, and I do want to show the spaces in between people and the environment that they live in. This is the new times that we're encountering now during this new normal in this pandemic COVID-19 situation, and I personally find that the Olympus M.Zuiko 100-400 lens is just the right lens to do that. Ultimately, what I want to achieve is to show what the Olympus 100-400 lens can do besides purely shooting wildlife and sports photography. I personally think that the reach of the 400mm telephoto N can open up a lot of possibilities even in normal shooting environment. What I can tell you is that besides the reach of the 400mm, where you can bring subjects that's very far away, say across the road, really close to your camera, but at the same time, while it's so close, close, you can still see the distance. You can still see that the subject is far away, and I personally find this really appropriate and suitable at times like this, where social distancing is the new normal. And not to forget the perspective exaggeration and the background compression, where everything far away seems enlarged and exaggerated. Straight lines are perfectly straight. It is a beautiful lens to use if you want to shoot certain parts of a building, if you want to show certain features or patterns or geometry or shape of a building that is so beautiful, you can bring them really close to your camera with a long lens. All the lines appear perfectly symmetrical, they're perfectly proportionate. There is something that a super long lens can achieve. And of course, one thing that I find myself using this lens for is to capture some intimate moments or candid shots of people doing things in their everyday lives from a distance without them realizing. When you capture these shots, they are totally untouched. The subjects are totally unaware of you shooting them. And yes, some people will say, yeah, it takes certain skills for you to use a wider lens, like a 35mm lens, to go close to the subject while they are totally unaware of you. No, there is a difference. You may think that you are invisible. You may think that you are so skillful that you can go in front of people with your camera and people don't see you. Are you seriously that naive to think that you are invisible, that people don't know that you are there? People may pretend that you're not there, but it's different than people are totally unaware or they don't know that you are shooting them. There is a big difference, and it is just so pretentious to claim that, oh, I'm the invisible photographer with my 35mm lens, go in front of people less than 1 meter and take a photograph. No, it doesn't work that way. Stop pretending. There's a difference between using a long lens and a short lens, and I'm showing you what can be done with the 100-400 lens. Ultimately, these shots were submitted to Olympus and they didn't make it to the Pro Gallery for a few reasons. Personally, I'm not really satisfied with the quality or the standard of the images that I have delivered. I was honest about this when I delivered the images. I told them that, hey, you know what, this is not my usual standards, so I perfectly understood if you do not use this in the gallery. And Olympus came back to me and said, oh, we're okay with that, but the main concern was that being a medical company, they did not want any discussion on the current pandemic that's happening worldwide. I can fully understand that. They didn't tell me from the start that my photography project shouldn't have anything to do with the COVID-19, but hey, whatever that's happened. I couldn't deliver my best, and of course, it didn't work out, but I thought it would be perfect for me to share these photographs here. They may not be award-winning, they may not be anything special, but these are my photographs that I did shoot with the 100-400. It is still a valid photography project. And although I'm not perfectly satisfied with them, I still love my photographs. That's all I have to share about my mini photography project shooting with the Olympus M.Zuiko 100-400 lens. I hope you've enjoyed the photographs that I've shared. Please consider buying me a cup of coffee, or you can contribute directly to my PayPal account. I'll put the links in the description below on how you can do that. Any small contribution can go a long way and help me to continue making videos like this and publish them right here. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing, and I'll definitely see you again in the next one. Until then, stay safe, take care, and please go out and take more photographs if you can. Bye-bye.